Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, the intro did not play, but I guess that means
We're live.
we're
Okay.
do
Yeah.
do 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 do.
That's
Don't
there you
just
go. That's the intro.
Yeah, there you go. That's the intro. How's it going,
Yeah.
everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of The Pipeline. I am hosting today once again because Andre is still working on the never-ending video of his critique of the Mario movie. Can't wait to finally see that when it comes out the same day as Metroid Prime 4. So it's going to be a very exciting day for Nintendo fans. But I am joined by Tom, who is under the ocean, and Don, who is Dutch. And we're going to be talking about the news of the week.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the intro. I all of a sudden had like an ad playing in my ears. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it threw me off. So,
Dude, ads really do throw you off, don't they? It's very weird. But yeah, everyone in the chat, how's it going, everybody? Thank you all so much for coming to this week's episode of The Pipeline. Let us know how our audio levels are, because I was watching the last Pipeline we did, and for some reason, I was too loud, Tris was too quiet, Tom was Canadian, it was all over the place.
eh?
Yeah, but let's get started with the first big story of the week. Knuckles is out on Paramount Plus, but Don was just telling us how he doesn't get it until fall. So very sorry, Don. You're all dressed up in red. I didn't get the memo for one, so I should have dressed up in red. God dang it! But I watched the first 2 episodes last night at midnight in my area. And they're very short episodes. The first episode's actually the longest one at 33 minutes, and the rest of them are about 25 minutes on average. But Johnny says he's watching it right now. You're watching us and Knuckles at the same time.
Hey, you got multitask in this day and age, Joey.
Yeah, really. You really do.
I mean, in that point, you also need to activate your phone and play some Subway servers.
Right? I can't watch anything without having Subway Surfers play on the bottom of the screen. It's just yeah, but Knuckles is good so far. It's not like anything incredible. It's not like, because this year has been very good for television. Like, we just got the Fallout show. Shogun just ended, and Shogun's like incredible. But Knuckles is like doing its whole different thing entirely, right? It's for the Sonic fans. It's more family friendly. And judging by the first 2 episodes, it was pretty good. It's entertaining. The production value is very high. We're in an age where like movies and television are like the same thing, in budget wise, CGI wise, visual quality wise. It's just really cool. And what I really like about the Knuckles show so far is that Wade, the sidekick, the human character in this, the main human character in this, who's nothing but comic relief in the movies, they really do a good job at fleshing out his character, which is quite surprising, because you could go one of 2 ways with making a comic relief character like a more of a person with depth. Like, it could go really south really fast, or it could turn out to be pretty good actually, and you kind of like this person even more. So far it's going that way. It's going a really good direction, so I'm very excited.
Or you do it like Sonic Movie 2, and it's just pointless.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'd have to say it like it is, Don. Now, with the episodes, like, what's the shortest episode length? Did you watch them all? Like,
it might have
watched them?
No, I only watched the first 2 episodes, but I actually think the second episode is probably the shortest, at like 23 minutes.
Okay.
Very short. For some reason, I had it in my head that these episodes would be on average like an hour long, and I don't know why I thought that. That's just because I'm used to every other show being like that long. But then I realized, it's like this is still a show kind of geared towards kids, so it's gonna be shorter. But yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, it's really good so far. The CGI still looks really good. Like you'd think this is kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog 2.5, kind of, because it still very much looks like the movies, if that makes sense. It's because studios these days just pump a lot of money into TV shows now, and now TV shows look just as good as movies do. Like not to bring this back to Fallout, but I'm bringing it back to Fallout. That show got money. That show got money. The CGI in that show, way too good. And they had a lot of practical effects. A lot. They made the robots real most of the time. That was crazy. But Yeah, Knuckles. I'm gonna finish the rest of it soon. Maybe I'll binge the rest of it tonight, honestly, because it's not that long. I only have
Yeah.
episodes left at around 25 minutes each, so
Yeah.
that's like an hour and a half or 2 hour movie right there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hopefully, you all get to watch it soon. Sorry, Don.
I don't get to watch it until fall because we get a different streaming service where we get the Paramount stuff on, so that's fun.
You know what I've noticed when I went to Europe with Conrad that one time from the Commonwealth realm, like I was logging into Netflix on my laptop to like watch everything. I'm just like, Netflix over there was like, this was back in 2018. I don't know if things have changed. Netflix had like everything, mainly because Netflix was like the only streaming service there.
Yeah, I mean, it's more consolidified. So to give transparency on the Paramount stuff, Paramount falls under a different streaming service called Sky Showtime, which package like 2 or 3 different streaming services in the US because there's also Peacock stuff on there. And it's sort of to rival that Netflix and Amazon Prime, basically. Those are the 3 leading ones across Europe.
I see.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like joint forces, but it also means like because they need to like subtitle stuff or translate stuff, it means that there is heavy delays and stuff coming to that streaming service.
Interesting. Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. Like, gosh, I wouldn't say fascinating. It's kind of frustrating because, the United States, America just has all these streaming services. That's just so annoying. But
it's too many now. It's a topical freeze for another day.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, Amazon Prime is cheap at chips. It's only €2.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Don, do you get ads in Amazon Prime now? That's ruined it here, kind of.
We kind of already did, yeah.
Yeah, let me catch up with the chat real quick. I just noticed we haven't really been paying attention to chat. But yes, awesome. Knuckles is out now already. Go watch it. Go after you finish this episode of the Pipeline. But yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to the next story here. Coming on up. What is this?
Oh, that's too early.
We'll save that for later.
Oh my god.
Yes. Oh, look at that. It's been a long stinking time since we've had some Switch 2 rumors up in here. Felt like for a while there, we were reporting on Switch 2 rumors like every week for a bit, and people got mad at us, but whatever. Yeah, I'm still a bit loud. Okay, well...
because you project your voice so well, Joey.
I mean, you're just loud naturally.
I'm just naturally loud.
Yeah.
I'm the one American here, and I'm just so loud because that's how we are. But I moved my microphone back a bit, see if that helps. But yes, I actually just found this out because it came out this morning, so I'm actually just getting refreshed up on all this. The Switch 2 reportedly has magnetic Joy-Cons, and it might not support existing ones. Okay, that sentence I just read, I just found out right this second. So this is... If this, it's also claimed, thank you, Tom, for highlighting this. Tom's like highlighting it, like, don't forget this part. It's also claimed that the current Pro controller will be compatible with Nintendo's new console. That is not as surprising, but it's good to know, right? Because, hey, look what I got right here. I recently did a video on this controller because mine's mine's like over 7 years old now, and it's still going strong. No drift in sight, no nothing. I wonder if that means, I wonder about the third-party controllers, though, like this one right here. For some reason, all my Pro controllers are on my desk, but yeah. So let's read this report from VGC. We love VGC over at Game Explain. VGC are the best. Let's see. Long-running Spanish video game website Vandal claims to have received information about the console from sources at peripherals manufacturers. According to the site, Switch 2's Joy-Con controllers will attach to the console magnetically. That's like the Lenovo Legion Go, right, yes. Don?
Yeah, that's what Don's saying.
Yeah, and that that the one
snaps right off. Yeah.
Yeah, is that the one that you can also use not Joy-Con, but the
you can use it as a mouse. Yep.
That's so
as a mouse in like first-person shooter games. Yep.
That's so rad. Yeah. Okay, what else? As current Joy-Cons connect to Switch using a rail system, it's unclear if there will be forwards compatible with the new console. The existing Pro controller will work with the Switch 2, it's claimed. Again, very nice. Kind of like the Wii to the Wii U. Existing Wii controllers would work with the Wii U, which was also very nice. It's worth noting that prior to Switch OLED's reveal in 2021, Vandal accurately reported on some of the console's features, such as the inclusion of a new stand and an Ethernet port, which is kind of interesting because I feel like that was not something anyone could have made up on the spot because, like, really, who cares if the Switch OLED had a better stand, really? So I feel like I would believe this rumor or this claim. What do we think of this, Tom?
Well, I haven't got my hands on a Legion yet to know how good the magnets are. Like, that would be my worry. But
I mean, they're pretty strong, but it feels weird because you should kind of just snap them off.
yeah.
So like the clicking on and clicking off process just feels sort of odd. It works, but it's what I wonder, because this especially made, like, Nintendo consoles are made for everyone. I just wonder how strong those magnets are and how good they will be pulled off. Because if you're a child and you want to get them off, would you resolve that sort of issue, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the question. Because the Lenovo Legion might have, like, it's probably not going to use the same magnets. Who's to say?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, the main reason that Nintendo is moving away from Rails, and it's not outspoken enough, but I will say it, is because it's hackable.
Yeah.
Like the first two versions of the Switch, and even the OLED, but then the OLED you actually have to solder on, like, are hackable in some regard. And I think they want to make that hackable process as difficult as they possibly can. So the reason they would do that is go to a magnetical system where you can just snap the controllers off, and there is no really outside of context that a user could mess with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just got to make sure, though, to keep your VHS tapes away from the Switch 2. All of a sudden, your movies will be gone completely because of the magnets. Anyone see Be Kind Rewind?
Could you imagine if I don't think this is possible, like a new problem of, like, being demagnetized? That'd be hilarious. But I just worry about holding the Switch like this and then it's like boop, dropping out onto the ground. That'd be my worry.
I wonder if that's a problem with the Legion Go. It might not be. Who's to say? Any Lenovo Legion Go users in the chat, let me know. But let's take a look at the chat. Team Sora asks, didn't Nintendo consider magnetic Joy-Con with Switch 1? I'm not sure. I did not hear about this at all.
What Dylan Cat says in the chat is accurate. So on Nintendo Minute, back when the Switch was coming out, they said they thought about magnetic Joy-Cons, but then didn't go through with it. I wonder what changed that perception. Likely the hackable stuff, but also, once again, it doesn't solve necessarily the issue of either you make the magnets too strong, which makes, like, people who are more volatile to not really able to snap them off, or you make the magnets too easy, making at some point some accidents happen where you likely drop the body of the console.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if magnetic technology has gotten better since then too. I don't know anything about magnets, so
magnets. How do they work?
Yeah, how do the magnets work? I still don't know. I'm almost 30 and I still don't know this.
Can we put our Joy-Cons, just leave them on the fridge? I want to know.
Yeah. Is there anything else in this article, Tom, that they highlighted, or is this the only?
We can take a look at Stealth's quick recap too. But,
shout out to Stealth. Friend of the channel, had him on the show many times. He is the GOAT. We love Stealth here. I still don't know his real name, and I think he wants to keep it that way. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. A Switch Pro controller supported, larger than Switch. Okay, that makes sense. Actually, I want to talk about that a little bit. If it's larger than the Switch, this thing's going to be tough for me to take out of the house. I just got to be real at this point. I don't imagine it'll be much larger, but still, if this thing is Steam Deck size, I'm just like, everybody chillax. All right. And the final note Stealth highlighted was accessory manufacturers have touched the new system, but not actually looked at it. What? Hold on.
That's so curious, right?
You're telling me Nintendo's like, here, put this blindfold on.
Yeah.
Stick your hands out. Or did they do that thing that the internet does, like BuzzFeed.com does with celebrities, and be like, stick your hand in the box and tell me what's in there? And they get all scared and stuff. Did Nintendo do that?
I want to imagine that some crazy NCO executive just sits there and says, you know what would be funny? If they would do the YouTube trend where they just stick their hands inside of the box.
Incredible.
It's like you get shock, or it's like, why does it feel like Guiji?
Oh my gosh, so good. Yeah, that's funny. That's really funny.
You can get the shape, you can get the general knowledge of the shape of it, right? So you can kind of guess, like, if there is a gimmick, what it would be.
Well, what if they never told them what it was? Oh, you just touched the new system.
Yeah, good luck trying to figure out what that looks like. But let's look at the chat a little bit. Oh, Ignatius, you're breaking my heart, Ignatius Mary. I never used Pro controllers, sadly. I've been using Joy-Cons since 2017. No!
Maybe they have amazing
You-
Joy-Cons that haven't drifted yet.
Maybe you haven't seen the light, Mary. You need to get a Pro controller. Just do it.
I
It's
know
so
plenty
good.
of people who never got a Pro controller.
They're all so sad.
Day one Pro controller.
I mean, you need to talk
same
about
here.
how a Pro controller never drifted. I have a Pro controller that completely drifted.
Yeah, I'm. That's so sad. I know there are people. I know there have been cases of every controller
And
drifts.
it wasn't
I
the
feel
regular
like.
one either. It was the Xenoblade 2 Special Edition.
It's so funny.
Oh.
I for some reason assumed it was that when you told me. I don't know why. I just knew
No.
this dude.
And
This
it was my favorite too, and it sucks so much.
I was like, this weeaboo is talking about the Xenoblade 2 controller. I just know it.
Which is funny. I don't really like Xenoblade 2.
Apparently, Xenoblade 2 is not the fan favorite one. I think a lot of people do.
I mean, you either really love it or you are just kind of indifferent, or just really indifferent about it. And I'm like on the lower end of being indifferent.
I think Xenoblade 2 is the one I played the most, but I barely even remember it because I think I was just like, all these anime tropes are just not for me.
I explained like this, right? I think that Xenoblade 3 is a way better game, but the ending felt sort of short of what it could be.
Right.
And where Xenoblade 2 was consistently sort of down there for me, but I thought that the ending was at least consistent by it and actually wrapped it up nicely. So it's kind of weird and different.
Nice, Mary. Yeah, I'm no disrespect at all, Mary. I'm just saying I want you to experience the Pro controller because it's really good. Gage Play says Xenoblade 2 is great. Yeah, I believe you. Pro controllers for the win. Got to figure out a good alternate for my new Super Mario Bros. Wii playthrough. Hold on, new Super Mario Bros. Wii. Hold the phone. Are you talking about? I don't know what the Pro controller had to do with that, but. Okay, Discord, Tom. Go to the news ideas in Discord. Andre just posted something maybe we should talk about for a bit.
Oh, yeah, this is yeah, let me bring it up. Thank you, Joey.
Right. Let's read this article from WCCF Tech. Agree and proceed, Thomas. Okay. Nintendo Switch 2 rumored to launch in H2. What is H2?
Second half?
Second half, I guess.
Okay,
Like,
I've only ever
Q2.
I know Q2. I didn't know businesses say H2.
I've never heard of H2 either. It's like,
Me.
it's this HTML tag. Yeah, breaking news, and we need a breaking news logo like Topical Freeze.
Here, use Super Aiden's comment. Click on it.
There we go.
Breaking news! Kind of a rumor, though. Breaking rumor! Nintendo Switch 2 rumored to launch in the second half of 2024. OLED version already in production. Let's read this crap. There's still a chance for the Switch 2 to launch this year, exactly 2 months ago. So why is this news now? The Japanese publication Nikkei wrote that that March 2025 was the most likely release window for the new console, as it allowed Nintendo to produce enough consoles to sell to consumers. The Nintendo Switch 2 is expected to launch as early as the second half of this year. Significant contracts have already been negotiated in the component industry for initial production. A Tegra T239, that sounds like a Terminator model, produced by Samsung Foundry 7LPH. The display, Samsung OLED, with the exception that LCD models may be released first using the Sharp display. For this information, which should be taken as a rumor, even though, what are all these names? My God. Even though Orexta proved to know quite a bit about the Samsung chipsets, we can guess that the OLED Switch 2 is already in production, but will be released sometime after the LCD model. An Omdia analyst also said earlier this year that the next console will be released in 2024, equipped with an 8-inch LCD screen. Okay. I wonder... I don't know. I'm skeptical still.
So they're making an OLED that will be released shortly after the LCD model, or are they going to have both simultaneous? It's like
I gotta think it'll be sometime after because they want people to double dip.
Yeah,
they're doing Nintendo doing the capitalism here.
You don't want to confuse the market too with too many models. I mean, unless you have one that's so bad that everyone else has to get the more expensive one, you're like, well, it does have that low price point, but I'm just going to get this higher price point one anyway. Like that's something like when you have, let's say, options in the Steam store, like some games that come with a soundtrack. It's so you forget about comparing it to any other console. You only start comparing it to those two options for like the product from the same company. That's kind of why they do that.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know. This feels like something that I don't know how like accurate WCCF Tech is. I remember reporting on some of their stories before, but there's just something about this that makes me think like I still don't buy that we're getting a Switch 2 this year. I'm just expecting March next year at the earliest.
Yeah.
But if it did come out later this year, I'd be excited because at this point I'm kind of just like the headlines for Nintendo this year have just been here's a remaster of a Game Boy Advance game. Here's a Peach game that's for babies. And here's by the way, Samus is not in Fortnite and Garry's mod is dead to us. So it's just like, give us something good.
I mean, funny enough, the two things that really drove me this year were the remake of Another Code and Side Order.
That's right. Oh, I forgot about Side Order, dude. I need to go back to that. That was baller. Hey, Clay, how's it going? Thank you for addressing me by name.
Yeah, because we never talked about legit. I really enjoyed Another Code because the second half of the Wii game they completely remade and changed the entirety of the script.
They
just threw out the original script completely.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
that's really rad. But yeah, what do we think of this? Do we buy this? Do we think do we think it's coming this year, or are we still?
I definitely don't think it's coming this year.
No,
because we would have had I would say stronger indication is a harsh word. I would say there would be more of an incentive for like games to slow down. Because even though like we could say, oh, these games are not particularly interesting, what Nintendo at least has done is release a game per month. And in fact, like in May, we're getting 2.
We are. We didn't get anything this month, though.
Yeah, that's the only month. Oh, we didn't get anything this month.
But like you said, we're getting 2 next month. So
yeah. So ultimately, what I'm thinking is either they will need to talk about like the second half of this year at some point soon.
Yeah.
Or they need to say, hey, this is coming. And I at this point, I do think it's becoming a little bit too late I really believe, because they would have at least indicated that a bit sooner.
Yeah, let's see. The Switch 1 announced October 2016 and released March 2017. That's a October, November, December, January, February, March, 5-month window. So they could announce it in June and then make a release this winter or fall, whatever. But I don't see that happening either. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But like you said, Don, I feel like they got to talk to us about the second half of the year soon. Not really us, but their shareholders.
Yeah.
What did Seth Kyle say? I think Furukawa, the president of Nintendo, mentioned in February that they were focusing only on the Switch this year. So I don't think the Switch 2 comes out this year. They always say that.
Yeah. So I'll say that on that note, like they always hold close to their chest not to say that, so people keep buying Switch. I think they're going to try to copy the Switch model, like the Switch process, as closely as possible. And they are they probably feel more confident to sit on how many units like Switches are out there for people to just keep buying software, or to have have a slow period for a while. Why not focus?
I also want to, like, what is important to mention, right, is that the Switch period was a far cry of how far they announced the 3DS and the Wii U in advance. And even the Revolution / Wii, like the 3DS was announced in, I think, January 2010.
Yeah.
The Wii U, just Project Cafe at the time, was announced around that same time in 2011. They have all the reason to keep things too close to their chest. They are not in a rush. Like the Switch is still selling, even though numbers are slowing down. I think 5 months is about what we should expect that lead up to be.
Yeah.
Remember when they used to announce consoles a whole year and a half in advance? Not just Nintendo, but every console manufacturer. And now they're just like, we're not doing that again, ever.
But
I still think PlayStation and Series X were announced at the beginning of 2020, and then the world happened.
The world happened.
Yeah, it was just surprising those came out.
It was surprising. I kind of wish they didn't come out during that time. But
Yeah.
you know, it's funny. They announced the PlayStation 5 like during like a game reveal at the Game Awards. They said like, I forgot what the game was. It was some forgettable thing. They were just like coming to PlayStation 5. We don't know what it looks like, but it's coming to PlayStation 5. And then that same Game Awards, they announced the new Xbox, the Series X. So that was a wild time. But anyway, let's move on to the next story here.
So many stories. I have no. Oh, it's Garry's mod.
Garry, what have you done, Garry? Garry didn't do anything.
Yeah.
All right. So this story right here, Nintendo. Garry's mod is removing 20 years worth of Nintendo-related workshop items due to takedown requests from Nintendo, and the developers are asking people to delete their own Nintendo-related stuff just to help because they're gonna go away anyway. So like, make it easier on us, please. They're basically asking recipes, Gmod, and Nintendo. Yeah, really though. And I've noticed a lot of people say like, no, this is fake. This is a fake DMCA, but this is directly from the developers of Garry's mod themselves. So they clearly know something we don't. And I believe the owner, the lead of Garry's mod, I forgot his name, Garry something, because Garry, right? He said, nope, these come from Nintendo. Trust us.
Yep.
But he's confused himself at times. He's like, this is real. And like you get people replying to him. Like it's confusing because it's that mm-nintendo at mm-nintendo.com email address. So it's kind of through another firm.
Yeah.
It's also weird how late this really feels because like Gmod creations with Nintendo stuff have been out there for years, even in GIF form and video form. Like it's been like very well documented, and I'm not sure why they decided now would be the greatest idea to handle this.
Yep.
I gotta think they found out about the Samus being in Fortnite, and they were like, "Hey, we're not putting her in this. Let's take out all the what other stuff do we got? Come on, give us more stuff to take down." It's weird how they're doing this 20 years later. But it's weird. It's weird though. 20 years later, Garry's mod came out in 2006, didn't it? Or was there an older version that's not on the Steam store?
Garry's mod has always been Garry's mod.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird.
I'm gonna say maybe Steam Deck doing well kind of caught their attention. It's like maybe we should
is Garry's mod even
protect our IP
compatible?
You gotta think it is a little bit. It's an old game, like game platform. I'm gonna be honest. I still don't fully understand what Garry's mod is. I just know it's like user created content in there using source. So that's really just about it. It's Game Builder Garage before Game Builder Garage. Do you feel me?
It's like a source scene creating tool.
Yeah, totally.
I want to show the bit of confusion around this. So look at this. So people thinking a Nintendo rep confirmed the DMCA claims are not their doing. Well,
I need a source, Parallel Hero. You can't just tell me things.
So that's kind of like if the person himself is receiving them is confused. I mean, that's how bad it is. So.
Yeah, it is. It's that bad. I feel like Nintendo's got to. Hopefully a Nintendo rep did confirm. Let me look into this a little bit. But yeah, it is weird if this is true. How late they are to the party.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say I regret not using Garry's mod for years to pose Nintendo characters for thumbnails. That's all I want to say on this.
And now your chances are gone. Sorry, Tom.
Well, when I was checking the other day, there's still a few in there like Funky Kong. So.
Oh yeah, gotta get that Funky Kong.
So many. It's hard to remove them all. So that's why Garry's mod itself was asking people to take down their own content, make it easier for them because they're probably not a huge team.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, it's weird. I'm trying to look into this a little more, but nah, I think Parallel Hero is not being honest with us. I could be wrong.
It's just not that. It's just so many confusing different reports out there. So
true, yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird what this all means. So I'm not sure. I'm sure Garry's mod is like hesitant to even reach out to Nintendo because then Nintendo will be like, "Oh, but now that you mention it, yeah, you should delete." And it's like, "No, we weren't coming after you, but hey, since you've come to us, delete your stuff." Yeah,
that's always the risk.
Yeah, this ties into our topical freeze later. But I think we have other stories to go into. Tom, let's see what the next one is.
It is Nintendo Live.
It's coming to Sydney, Australia this year. So if you're going to go to Nintendo Live in Australia, you better pack your anti-spider like ointment because there's going to be a lot of those.
Isn't it winter then in Australia?
I think so, huh?
Yeah.
They're on a different hemisphere.
Tail end of winter.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun and interesting. But it's important to note the timing here is the same as PAX West, PAX Prime, whatever it's called now, which must mean they're not going to be at PAX either.
I don't think it means anything.
You don't think it means anything?
No, because there were multiple. They tried Nintendo Live in a bunch of different places this year that some people are not aware of. They also tried it in Hong Kong last year.
Oh, wow.
So I think they're just continuously trying to own their own event space. And the fact that they're also not going to Gamescom is very interesting in that regard.
Yeah, really though. I think a lot of people who haven't been to Nintendo Live might think, hey, this is like Nintendo's version of E3, but it's really just a promotional event to promote their games, most of their games that are already out, really, to my recollection. But I think there was an exception made last year because I think Super Mario Bros. Wonder was the big game, and that was not, of course, that was that was undoubtedly their big holiday game.
Sure.
Yeah, we went to that, and it's hilarious. It's like only in a little corner of the booth, but like a really focused corner. It felt like at least 40 different stations. So with so many other things going on at Nintendo Live, we could just go through there because it's going through people like popcorn, basically with 4 people on each TV. So we got to play like 6 times super quick.
Nice. Yeah. And if you wanted, you could go to Target and play a demo there, or GameStop.
Target's not Canada anymore, Joey. It's now a grocery store.
I was more like disappointed with how much exclusive merch Nintendo Live got in America. And I'm like, man, I wanted some of that.
Oh man. So yeah, it sounds very sound like this probably doesn't mean anything. Like
ultimately, I don't think it means much. I just think once again they're trying to hold their own events a bit more and calling them all Nintendo Live. Like the stage show last year at Gamescom, which was just at the Nintendo booth, was also called Nintendo Live.
Yeah. They had like musical performances there, right?
And not here, not in Europe, but
not in Europe.
But
bummer.
But I do think they're trying their own marketing in the event space, and I think it slowly shows that. I mean, there's also a PAX in Australia. I think they're just moving away from PAX there and doing their own thing.
I see.
I honestly think it doesn't mean much. Like until we really know for sure, we don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They probably have enough resources to do 2 at once. Like, I mean, you're going to have different materials on the side, but we'll see. And we'll see if they have Nintendo Live even again at PAX West this year.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out. All right. Next story.
Let's see. I thought it was, we were going to talk more about Nintendo Live, finding that. Do you want to talk about that guy the suspect who stopped Nintendo Live Tokyo?
Oh yeah, the idiot who tried to bring. Yeah, that's.
It's more attention than he actually deserves, but sure.
Yeah, we'll just cover it briefly. They caught the guy. That's all I know. That's all I know. Tom, you fill me in.
They caught him. He was charged.
Yeah, his reasoning was for unleashing a shitty game into the world, and it's unsure which game they actually mean. So everybody on the tweets were just meme commenting like bad Nintendo games, like everybody want to Switch.
My goodness, these people are children. I swear to God.
It'd be ironic if
people were threatened by the situation, man.
Ridiculous.
It's sad. Like, I guess it's fandom, right? It's sad when fandom gets that level of obsession where you're like threatening to kill someone. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it's really insane. There really are people who just haven't grown up past elementary school. It's wild. It really is.
Yeah.
All right, on to more positive news. We got a ton of footage of Paper Mario RPG. I didn't know this was a new game. Oh, this is the remake of 1,000-Year Door. Okay. I didn't know they
the
called it.
Japanese site.
I didn't know they called this. This when I saw that trailer go up, I didn't know they called it Paper Mario RPG in the freaking.
Yeah, the first Paper Mario was there called Mario Story, I believe.
Interesting. But yes, this showed us a ton of new footage, and I know because I worked on the comparison, there was a lot of footage. Yeah, Andre was sending me clips because I never played this game before. But yeah, that was a hard comparison to do. So go watch it. But yeah, super. I keep wanting to call it something else. Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door. Lots of new footage. We got to look at a bunch of stuff that we haven't seen before. There's a fan favorite character in there. What's his name? He's the ghost guy. Don, help me out because I've never played this game.
I mean, which of the ghost guys do you mean?
I'm talking about. Hold on one second. And he's in the title. He's in the title of the comparison. So I have to look up my comparison to see who he is.
I'm in your boat too, Joey. I haven't played it yet. I'm waiting for this.
It's either Vivian or Dupless. I want one of war.
Dupless.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, Dupless. That's his name.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what Triss told me to put in the title. Put Dupless in the title because people love Dupless, and I'm like, that's cool. I never played this game. I can't wait for the remaster. Yeah, I forget that this is a thing coming out mainly because when remasters are coming out from Nintendo, especially this year, I'm just kind of like, okay, that's cool. I don't really care that much. But this is the 1,000-Year Door. This is the 1,000-Year Door.
Oh yeah,
we've been asking. Everyone's been asking for the 1,000-Year Door remaster, remake, what have you, for literal decades.
They seem to very Origami King fight it.
Yes, especially because it's at 30 frames per second.
That's a one downside.
More so because now it has different battle themes depending on the area you're at, which wasn't the case in the original.
Say that again. I didn't quite understand that.
So, Origami King for each area in the game had a different battle theme when you were in battles.
I see.
The original 1,000-Year Door, if you were in a regular battle, didn't have that, but depending on the area, it now has a different version of that battle theme.
Oh, interesting. That sounds better in my opinion, doesn't it? Instead of hearing the same battle theme over and over and over again, you hear different variations of it. Mm-hmm. I kind of like that. And yeah, I'm not going to harp on the 30 FPS too much because like I guess it's been confirmed now, even though it's been confirmed since the first trailer that the game runs at 30 FPS instead of 60, which that did confuse me, sure. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter too much because the game's turn-based. It's not like you need fast reflexes unless you're doing... Well, I guess you do also
the action commands.
The action commands, but I think they're simple enough to where it's not going to really hurt. But maybe you'll get a 60 FPS patch on Switch too. Who knows, everybody? But yeah, this game, when I was doing the comparison, I was just thinking, wow, they really did a lot to up these visuals, and it does look really freaking good. I always have a thing for really good screen space reflections.
Yeah.
And this game has that in spades, dude. Yeah. So I'm really excited. I got this game a long time ago on GameCube, but I traded it in, which was the biggest mistake of my life.
You could have put little Joey through college.
I could have, but yeah. So now here it is, and it's coming to Switch, and I'm very excited to experience it for the first, for real, for the first time. I've only played however long I played the 1,000-Year Door, I don't even remember, and it's just completely irrelevant because I don't remember at all.
The small little improvements of this game make me the most excited. For example, there was always fast travel between pipes to the different worlds, but now they all put them in one area, not all over the place in the area around the 1,000-Year Door, which is a godsend.
That's really good.
But yeah, there's little more improvements everywhere that make me far more excited to play this game than I was before. But also, I can actually play it in my own language for the first time, which will be very funny. As somebody who used to play it 10 times in English. For example, the Pit of 1,000 Trials is roughly translated in Dutch, the 1,000-layered dungeon.
Oh man, was it called? I thought it was Pit of 100 Trials, right?
Yeah, Pit of 100 Trials. Yes.
Okay,
in English.
Can you imagine 1,000 trials? Good lord, that's the whole game right there. But yeah, pretty excited for this. This might be Can it be May 23rd already? Exactly, right? I've been talking a lot this year about how like Nintendo releases have just been underwhelming for me personally.
That's
Unless
fair.
you're a fan of another code like Don is, you have had a great year.
I mean, side order as well. So
Yeah,
Side
side
order.
order is
Yeah,
another
yeah,
big one,
yeah.
but it's not. It's
Like
TLC, so it
two
feels a
things is
little
not
bit different.
bad for me.
Yeah, really. But yeah, it's exciting to finally play this one for the first time. So I'm fine. I wouldn't say the first time, but it feels like it's going to be the first time since it's been so long, and I've only played like maybe 3 or 4 hours of the original game. Very cool stuff.
God, I played this game too many times because in that final year of GameCube, like in end of 2005, 2006, not much was coming out still. I think I
Yeah.
played this game for another 2 times during that period because I didn't have much else.
Oh yeah, very cool. Let's move on to the next story. Tom on the Switcher.
Okay, another Crab's Treasure.
Oh yeah, I reviewed this. I forgot. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. So we got a PC code from our good friends over at Aggro Crab who developed this game, and it's a good game. Go check out my review. But if you want to know the score I gave it an 8 out of 10. And if you're a Game Explained traditionalist, I also gave it a score of liked. So in that sense, I've played a lot of Souls-likes, but the only one I've really beaten was Elden Ring. So I wouldn't say I'm like a diehard Souls-like fan.
Yeah.
So in that sense, this wasn't like my favorite Souls-like. There was parts about it where I thought, okay, this could have used more polish. There was a part of the game where I completely fell through a boss arena to like the bottom of the stage, and I had to like restart the boss. So that was annoying. But
Joey, real quick, I had that happen so many times in Penny's Big Breakaway, falling through the floor.
Oh my goodness! Wow. The game developers, stop making us fall through floors. But yeah,
unfortunately, I have to bring this up, but the Switch version is rough, buddy.
Oh, that is rough. Yeah, I played it on PC, so I wouldn't know. You need all the frames you can with a game like this.
Yeah,
but I haven't looked into the Switch version much.
So in handheld, there are sync issues.
Oh no. Oh
so
no.
I wouldn't recommend, if you're gonna buy it on Switch, definitely not play it in handheld mode, which is half of the point of Switch.
Yeah, really.
Wow. Let's be fair though. Like the team is maybe I think around 10 people. Why is I have to watch review still? Why is there Brian Pinball in there?
I mean,
it's not the biggest team, and like they're doing
game.
multiple platforms at the same time.
Yeah.
But no,
considering how much this was promoted on Switch in Indie Worlds and other presentations, it's at least good to mention that the Switch version is not the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough, Don. But I was pretty surprised at how it starts out. There's a lot of story elements like that. Kind of maybe a month ago, they showed it had voice acting and stuff. So that was a neat surprise compared to playing the demo.
Yeah. There's voice acting in some cutscenes, but there's a lot of dialogue boxes mostly, which is understandable, right? Indie studio, stuff like that. But even still, I give it an 8 out of 10 because it's a good game. It's a really good game. It's there's a lot for first-time Souls-like fans, like for people who want to get into this genre but don't want to feel overwhelmed or like overburdened by the immense difficulty of games like Elden Ring, Sekiro, stuff like that. This is a really good beginners like Souls game, and it's challenging. It really is challenging.
Yeah.
But if you've played a lot of Souls-likes like I have, it's a bit on the easier side, save for excuse me, I have really bad allergies, so I'm coughing a lot. The final few bosses are really tough. They are so hard. They're very difficult. Yeah, keep playing this because look at this.
Look at this right here. Gun.
The gun.
I did this too. I had to try it. It's not satisfying in any way whatsoever because it's like one hit and that's it. And it's like, oh, I feel bad now.
Yeah, but there also are players who just want to play the funny crab game and have the option to do it this way.
Yes. And then there's the product placement in there. Mr. Krabs packing heat. I even said that in my review. Not the Mr. Krabs part, but I said in the review when I got the gun, oh, now we're packing heat. Let's go. Yeah, that gun kills everything in one hit. Even the final bosses.
Like
one hit.
Like some people just want to play the story, right?
Yeah.
It's like Souls game can be tough. I'm glad to hear it's a bit easier for myself. So
Yeah.
I can understand.
To me, ultimately, it's about how you want to play the game. And there are people, for example, also with Celeste, that are not just very good at platforming and not good with the Souls-like elements. Like giving them options to at least advance and see the game is at least a decent thing to do.
Yeah. And even still, there was a bunch of other accessibility options if you don't want to make it that easy. Like you can make
for sure.
You can make the enemies hits. I think one of the settings was you make their hits not as strong. You take your shell durability is greater. As you can see, I made my build an attack build because I found like the more I upgraded my attack, the easier the game got, because I was pretty good at dodging, pretty good, not like the best or anything. Right. I just noticed like the more my attack was, it was just better for me overall. But that's the thing about Souls like games. It's you make your build how you want. And in other Souls likes, there's a lot more than just the 4 attributes, that are in this game. So again, I gotta recommend this to newcomers of the Souls genre. If you want to get into this, then you pick it up.
And if you have by Quinky Dink either PC or Xbox Game Pass, it's now also on there.
That's right. Thank you. I found that out like
the day. I forgot.
Oh no, Tom!
I bought it, but technically I'm only on a trial of Game Pass right now.
Oh, okay.
So I bought it on Switch purely to see how it is. I will likely, now that I know, sadly, the state of the Switch version, will likely play it on Xbox.
Hopefully, get the Switch 2 patch.
I think just a Switch patch in general would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that frame rate, because you need to play this game at least 60 FPS. These are the games I was talking about this with Paper Mario. It's just like, yeah, it's 30 FPS, but really, how badly do you need 30 FPS? But for games like this, you need the frames. You gotta get that frame rate. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Subscribe to frame rate. Yes, of course. All right. Let us move on to the next thing. Oh my goodness.
Our topical freeze time.
It's time for topical freeze. Yeah, we almost forgot this happened this week. It's been a long week, but this happened on Monday. Of course, this was talked about years ago with the Epic v. Apple lawsuit. This was brought up in their documents, I believe, but we heard this straight from the horse's mouth, that being Donald Mustard, the previous chief creative officer over at Epic Games for Fortnite. He said in an interview with Steven Totillo that they did indeed try to get Samus into Fortnite, but Nintendo's conditions were very strict, and they did not want to adhere to those conditions. That being, Samus, if she is in Fortnite, she can only be not only just playable on Nintendo consoles, but visible on Nintendo consoles.
Which is funny to me, because Epic had no problem doing that with Rocket League.
Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? Because in Rocket League, yes, the exclusive skins, I believe there was Samus, Luigi, anything else I'm missing?
And
Mario. Yep. Yes. So those were only playable and visible on the Switch version, but they would show up as different skins on the other consoles via crossplay.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
So this theoretically could have happened also in Fortnite, but for Epic's reasoning, they didn't want. The main reason why they denied this was because they wanted Fortnite to be the same on every platform. Like the same for everyone on every platform, and it's playable on every platform. When I say every platform, I mean every platform except the Wii U. So,
I mean, also not iOS or Android officially anymore.
Oh, I thought they brought that back.
No.
Okay, well, that's a bummer. Anyway, yeah, this makes me wonder. All this caused a ruse in the gaming scene, on the Twitter sphere and whatnot. Just like people, one side is saying like Nintendo's too overprotective of their IP. Hey, that's me. I said that. And then there's people just like Nintendo can do whatever they want with their IP, and we should respect it or whatever. So for this topical freeze, I want to ask: is Nintendo too protective of their IP? Like, what really do they have to gain from not putting Samus in Fortnite when we also have Kratos playable on every platform and viewable on every platform. Same with Master Chief and other gaming icons. Meanwhile, it's okay for other other IP to be in Smash Bros, but for some reason Nintendo doesn't want to behave the same way on others.
It's interesting, right? Because Nintendo didn't used to be that way. If you go back to the GameCube period, to certain games that Nintendo and partners released, they were very loose with even Mario. They put Mario in a DDR game. They put Mario, Luigi, Peach in NBA Street and SSX on tour.
SSX on tour. But Don, were these games only on GameCube?
No.
So is Mario, though?
They added an entire new level to his SSX on tour solely to include Mario, Peach, and Luigi.
And was that level in other versions?
No.
Okay, so it still seems like they're being a little consistent also. And I do remember Soul Calibur 2, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Link was only in the GameCube version.
Yeah.
And to be fair, other platforms got exclusive characters too. I think Xbox got Spawn.
Yeah.
And PlayStation 2 got somebody from
or something.
Yes.
But that's just Namco again.
Yeah. I just think that they used to be more loosely with how they approach their IP as long as it brought them software sales or at least interest to the GameCube.
Yeah.
And they still continue that a little bit on different platforms. I think now with, especially since Switch, I think they sort of decided which terms they want to set themselves and how much they overvalue themselves. Because there was a time, like even like halfway through the 3DS, that they didn't really care what you did. And then it suddenly stopped altogether. And I think that's the point when they decided, we are going to pull the curtain back. These are our IPs. We will do what we want with them. And there's no other way around them anymore.
I wonder, too, it's like always about how well they're doing at the time. Like, but in the past, though, it's been about supporting third parties where encouraging third parties to release games in their systems. Now they're doing well. Like maybe they don't care as much. And like they had all their IPs, like they had Super Mario Run, they had the different iPhone games. At this point, maybe that they don't consider, like, the phones are so big, it's better to be there to help promote their brand. But if it's on PlayStation or Xbox, maybe they think fans get confused all of a sudden, like, oh, I can play Mario here, I don't need a Switch. Like maybe that's their thinking.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, I can only watch the Super Mario Bros. Movie on my PlayStation or on my
Xbox. Joe, don't say that. They might take it off.
Well, I think the only way you can watch this officially on your Switch is if you have YouTube on your Switch, and I think you can rent the movie on YouTube, but that's it. So yeah, it's interesting how all this is working. But yeah, there's the mobile phone point is really good, Tom. It's just like, okay, so it's okay for your IP to be on phones, but Fortnite, the biggest gaming platform in the world, it is baffling, and I get like their business perspective kind of, but really, how much is it gonna hurt to have your IP on another platform? Like, not even like as officially as a game, but as like on Fortnite.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put it this way: they haven't released also new phone games in a while.
Nope.
That's because they're doing well, Don. So they
but if you want to expand your IP, wouldn't it be more reasonable to release more games on the phone?
I would argue that's why maybe they don't like how the phone games are ending up, or they had some troubles, or they're like still cooking, and we'll find out later, but they now have movies and theme parks to focus on instead.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take away from their game resources, because most of the mobile games internally by Nintendo was made by the Mario Kart team. And they already stopped updates for Mario Kart Tour. Now, the only one that's actively going that's under Nintendo's own supervision is Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not done by the Nintendo themselves. That's done by the Intelligent Systems themselves.
And aren't they shutting down Mario Kart Tour?
They're not shutting it down. They're not adding any new content to it anymore.
I see. Okay. Yeah, it's this. I even feel like if this happened during the Wii U era, they would still be this protective, because I feel like they've always been like this at the same time. Maybe not to the same extent, because they still put their stuff on phones. They played around like on the GameCube era, putting their characters in other games, but still on the GameCube. I think that is a point. But yeah, it is kind of weird how I feel like it's a little bit of a like very kind of we're the best mentality, and we don't need to play nice with these people. And I feel like that is that's just a major turn off to me. It's just like, just because you're on top doesn't mean you need to. You could be humbled at any moment, Nintendo. Remember the Wii U?
That happens to every platform holder. PlayStation, no, now we're the best. And I don't know if Xbox ever got there, but it always like, oh, let's be friends with everybody. Then it's like, oh, I'm the best. I can do anything. And,
but I think Nintendo is back on that period now where they feel they're on top, and they don't really feel like the mobile phone expansion is needed. It doesn't necessarily make sense for them to put their IPs on other stuff anymore outside of things that they control. Like, once again, theme parks and movies, yes, they are done by different entities, but they still have a lot of creative control of how those things turn out.
Yeah, exactly. They do. Like for their movies, especially, it's just like, hey, everything goes through us first. You're not gonna mess this up. Like for the Zelda movie coming out, they have like a 51%, like they're funding 51% of it, I think, to make sure, like, hey, we're putting in the most money, even though it's 1% more. We're gonna make sure you don't mess this up, Avi Arad. So yeah, lots of different stuff happening. But yeah, I do think at the end of the day, Nintendo is a little too overprotective, if you catch my drift, because I feel like it's okay to play nice a little bit. It's okay to be you could use Samus in Fortnite. Even still, I feel like you can do this like you did with Rocket League, and still make it so like Samus is not visible on other platforms. But I know that goes against what Epic Games' stance of Fortnite is. It's just like they want it to be the same on everything, and that would be giving Nintendo like special treatment, and they don't want to do that, which I ultimately respect in the long run.
No, for sure. But I also feel like it wouldn't matter much if Samus was viewable on other systems. Like, it wouldn't matter in the slightest, not even a little bit. But it's purely because of how Nintendo is now at this very moment in time, where they're like, we don't have to.
Yeah, even still, how good are your Metroid sales, Nintendo?
Maybe we'll push it down to keep it at that 2.99999 million, Joey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, God forbid we go past 3 mil. Yeah, it's crazy. But any final thoughts on this topical freeze before we close out of the pipeline for this week?
Yeah, we just got that's it for that. I only have a couple of shout outs I want to go through. So
cool. Go through them shout outs, Tom. Do it.
So let me go back to presenting. There's this new kart game out that Andre found. It's like a Sonic fan kart racing game. I haven't got a chance to play it yet, but search Dr. Robotnik's Ring Racers and you can give it a try. This is Sega, so it might be up a little bit longer than a Nintendo fan game.
Oh, it'll stay up forever because Sega doesn't care.
Sega only cares if you illegally upload your music on a server somewhere. Then they're like, no, please take this down.
Yeah. And other than that, there was a Palestinian relief bundle on itch.io. I got this because it has Hyper Gun Sport, which I've been looking for
a short hike as well, and the Wonder Song, and a bunch of
stuff. It's got a few good ones. It's only $8.
Yes.
Zero Ranger. I'd wanted Zero Ranger for a bit. It's there. So it's got quite a few good games and not much. So if there's one you're looking for, it's probably less and for good cause. So
very good cause. I agree. Yes, buy this. I definitely got to buy this. All for $8. All these games. That's crazy. You might not play them all, but that's okay because it was only $8.
Yeah, right there on itch.io. So that's the super indie Steam alternative.
A super indie Steam like.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that genre. Like, just add like to everything.
Oh, there's a brief one.
Oh yeah, Days of Coming to Universal Studios Japan. That's cool. during the parade. We have a
I
news
was, I
update.
was at the parade there last year, so yeah.
Very cool.
How's the parade done? Is it worthwhile?
It's the No Limit Parade was very fun. Actually, there was also like Pokemon stuff in there. Actually, what I picked up from that, so that you can hang this on your bag with
Yep.
Pikachu on there,
That's
and then
so
it
cool.
just hangs on top
got-
side of your bag. It's super nice.
Is that Pikachu? Looks more. Those long ears make
Looks
me
like
think it's.
Pichu.
Yeah, but you also I have something weirder. Hold on,
Oh yes, show us the weird stuff.
I have a Pikachu hand puppet from that No Limit Parade.
Oh nice.
That's- Don's gonna be that puppet next pipeline.
I'm telling you, I'm dying to go to Japan. I really am. It's just airline prices are just so ridiculously bad in the United States. It's criminal. It's criminal.
Well, I'm
I
going
would-
back there in December, hopefully for Donkey Kong Country and the Nintendo Museum.
Nice. I want to. This are the snacks there super cheap? Is the food there super cheap? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
I mean, I'll tell you even further. The yen is now the lowest it has been in a while.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big trade-off, Joey. And like the food itself there, like there's no tips in restaurants. There's a new airline here from Vancouver. I think it's in a few places in the States too, Zip Air, that has it's like a discount airline, but to Tokyo. So that might be something to look into.
I'll have to look into that. Zip Air is what it's called. I have to take note.
But just search cheap discount flights, like that type of flight where you have to pay extra for your bag and stuff, but even still, it is cheaper than a regular flight ticket.
It's very good. I had a dream I was there, Tom. It was a very good dream. It was a very, very good dream. But yes. But yeah, I probably wouldn't live there. I heard it's very bad to live there. But that's just let's be honest, living everywhere is kind of bad unless
pros and cons to everywhere, Joey.
Exactly. I don't know. The Netherlands sound nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to go into politics.
Right. I always hear that too. All right, but yeah, before we dive too much deeper into politics, thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Pipeline this week. And hopefully next week is going to be also exciting, filled with so much news. We had a lot of news this week. Hopefully next week will also be just as exciting. But thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all next week. Bye-bye. Shut it down, Tom. My arm's getting tired.
No, good.